Recording. Okay, welcome everyone. Hi to Roger, and Lynn is out and about at the moment. We've got Julie and Chris and Hugh. I think Cliff possibly is coming, and Wesley said he'd come, so we'll see who turns up. But just to open, I'm going to mute everyone back. You can unmute yourselves. But let's just do that for the opening, and let's just land in the space for a couple of, just spend a minute or so, just fully landing in the space, unfolding arms and legs, feet flat on the floor, spine straight, and just taking 3 deep breaths in through the nose, and then blowing out slowly over the bottom lip, which has the effect of calming the nervous system. And as you're doing those 3 breaths, consciously dropping from mind into heart, into the body, consciously relaxing, calming your mind, opening your heart, coming out of everything that happened this morning, all of the rushing and activity, coming out of anything that you might need to do after the call today, so that we can be fully present in the now moment. So today is the deadline for nominations, 4 p.m. So Roger, congratulations for getting yours in. Lynn, congratulations for getting yours in. I did mine yesterday after a right old hoo-ha, which just showed the ridiculous red tape of the system, because 5 of my signatures failed. I'd got 3 extras, but 5 failed, or 4 failed. Something like that. Anyway, I had to they made me go out. They wouldn't sign it themselves. They made me go out, and I had to go out and ask someone to sign it. I managed to collar this poor guy, and he just, so it was just like crazy. Hi, Wesley, just joined.
Hello.
We're just doing a bit of an intro. And I just wanted to report on something that I did yesterday, which people had been asking me for this, and Cliff had suggested it as well. And here's Chris now as well. Hi, Chris.
Hi.
So, a lot of people had said, I'm going to mute you back, Chris, just for now. We're just doing an intro. A lot of people had said, we need you to put a PayPal link or a bank account. And I was loath to put my bank account because I thought it might get closed down. So yesterday, I just opened a Monzo account, literally opened it like same day. Just a plain vanilla account, and I also set up a PayPal donate button, and I put it all out again today, and I've had a whole load of donations, small donations, 20, 30, 50 quid, but it's been great, and some amazing messages of support. So it does feel like there's a momentum and an excitement. It's like the gates are, it's like the Grand National, like we're off. So it feels like a wave of positive energy. So that is a big tip. To put a PayPal donate button and some bank details to accelerate your donations to get funding. Wesley, did you want to? Shall we come to you first? Because you did speak. You did send me a message before the call, and you said you'd come on. So, because you're having a few challenges there, aren't you?
Thank you, Rachel. Yeah. First of all, that's an interesting tip about the PayPal, because obviously I've got a GoFundMe, and PayPal is just more instant and direct, I imagine. So I might take you up on that.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention about the GoFundMe, Wesley. It's very public doing a GoFundMe or crowdfunder, and it can be demoralizing because it's like no one's, well, like you've got like 50 quid or something. So at least doing a PayPal or a Monzo or inviting cash, it's not public, and it's not like you're right out there. And also the risk with GoFundMe is at the last minute they say, oh, we've decided we're cancelling your campaign. It doesn't meet our rules.
There are some delays with it. They have these processing times which are a bit annoying.
I would suggest, I'd go for a direct route. I really would. Yeah, but anyway, sorry to interrupt.
Not at all. Basically the situation I'm in is that it's 1 o'clock. And I've got my signatures for my nomination papers, but I don't have all the money yet. And so I've been reaching out to a few people, just seeing if they're able to assist in any way, because I'm determined to get on the ballot, and I don't want to let this hurdle stop me. Basically, what happened was I had funding lined up, from a friend who's going to give me the money because I don't have much money myself. But at the last minute they were unable to. So I've managed to raise £100, and then I'm basically trying to be able to the other 400. So I just thought I'd come on and see if anybody. Well, first of all, if anybody can help themselves, obviously, that would be lovely. But if that's not the case, because I know you probably spent money on your own deposit. Are the other people in this room independent candidates? So I don't actually know who everybody in the room is, Rachel.
So Roger and Lynn, Lynn's just popped off, but Roger and Lynn for sure are, and myself, yeah. So of the love movement, there are three of us, three survivors.
Yeah, and
Okay,
I was an independent before, so I had to pay up the 500, and then there was the leaflet then in the mayoral.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Which I don't know. Have you got to pay any extra for leafleting and things like that, or is that all free?
The delivery's free, but you have to buy them.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to pay for them yourself. So yeah, I suppose if anybody is able to help, or if anybody knows people that might be able to help, that would be great, because I'm really determined to do this. I'm determined to try and do something for my hometown. And I know that these barriers are in the way, but I think they're also in the way for a reason, and I don't want to let it stop me. I'd love to talk to you more about what it is that I plan to do for the town and what it is that I stand for. Basically, I come from a different background, financially and in terms of just the chaos that was around when I was younger. But I feel like this country and this town gave me the opportunities that I needed to get an education and to do well in my career. I became a performer, and I want to pass that on and more to the next generation. I also feel like at this time for the country, there's something going on. There's an opportunity for a real revolution. There's an opportunity for real change. And I want to be a part of it. I think independence of election can make a real difference. But I'm all about a revolution. I'll be honest with you. And it's all I ever go on about. But I mean it. I really believe that we're capable of revolution. For me, that means getting rid of some of the old-fashioned ways that we do things that need to be updated. House of Lords, potentially the monarchy. I think we can really rebrand ourselves and find a new identity as a country. That's what I'm passionate about. So yeah, thank you for taking the time to hear me out. And yeah, if you're able to help in any way, it would be very, very much appreciated.
So Wesley, do I have your permission, because we're going to put the recording of this video out like straight away afterwards, to actually put your contact details in the notes so people can, or the link to the crowdfunder, or it sounds like you need it right. You need someone to send it to a bank account, right?
Yeah, that is the situation I'm in.
So if I give you a phone number, is that do I have your permission to put your contact details in the notes?
That would be fine. Thank you. Yeah.
Cool. I'm sure some way we have to have trust and faith, and some way magic will show up, because magic does meet determination and focus and vision, and sometimes the universe does take us to the wire to test if we're truly committed. And I truly believe
definitely.
that. Yeah, so I truly believe that.
Can I just jump in here, Rachel, for a second?
Yes.
I was going to say, the situation is that he needs the funding by 4 o'clock. What I've told Wes is that I'm prepared to drive up from Birmingham to Mansfield and pay the deposit for him, but it's not something that I'm able to do myself and have it as a donation. Chan has pledged £100, and I trust Chan to pay me back. So it's a matter of people saying, okay, well, I'll pledge the money. And if Wes gets to the £500, then I'm happy to go up and pay it for him. But it's people paying me back as opposed to me making the contribution, if you understand the difference.
Yeah.
So are you saying, Chris, you're happy to loan it to Wesley?
I'm happy to learn it on the basis that enough people have pledged £500 to him. So if Chan has pledged £100 to him, and I trust Chan to pay you back £100. So if we get another 4 people that say, okay, well, we'll give the other 400, I'm happy to sort of go up to Mansfield and pay the money on the basis that Chan and the other 4 people are going to pay me back.
Wow.
So it becomes not me contributing the £500, it becomes 5 people contributing to Wes, and I'm sort of facilitating the process of getting him nomination.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that, Chris, and also, but anyway, I'm happy to put out I'm sure we're happy to put out the link to your crowdfunder, Wesley, just to help you, because it is all hands on deck, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
But you need an immediate solution. So.
Yeah, I do really. I do. Thank you, Chris. Chris has just been very, very supportive of me, and yeah, I'm really appreciative. Yeah, cool. It needs to be relatively soon, to be honest with you. That is the situation that I'm in. It's kind of all or nothing at the moment, and in terms of it, either I make it by 4 o'clock or I don't. That is the situation I'm in. So, yeah. I'm
sure you will make it.
Yeah. Well, I believe I will. I'm determined to, and with your help, I could.
You said you were going to go out and carry on with your campaigning and various things.
Tomorrow is another speaker's corner. So what I'm doing is every week, Saturday at 2 p.m, I go into the market square and I do a speaker's corner, like in Hyde Park in London, because for me, that's what we really need, is a more direct democracy. We need MPs who speak directly to their constituents, hear what they have to say, and take those views with them to Parliament. And that means getting out and talking to people. So that's what I'm doing every Saturday, 2 p.m. I'm going to speak in the middle of the market square. By the way, if anybody is interested in coming and sharing anything, talking, please let me know, because it's open to absolutely everybody. And it's open for people to question and criticize. That's the kind of environment that I want to foster within Mansfield, because that's what we need. So that's just one of the things I'm doing. But we've got a whole social media strategy ready to go. We want to do things differently. I think I'm a different kind of candidate. That's the point. And in order to go from a standing start with no funding whatsoever to realistically win this local election, you're going to have to do something very different. And I'm going to have to capture people's attention, especially when people's attention is very difficult to catch at the moment in this modern world. So we've really got some exciting plans for a unique social media strategy at the same time as grassroots stuff, Speaker's Corner, going out and meeting local communities, meeting local businessmen and the like. But I really believe in this campaign, and I believe in the small team that are helping me at the moment. I'm in it to win it. I think I can win. I think we can win.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Well done. And
well, maybe what I'll do, I can see that somebody's said that they're willing to help, and I appreciate that. And I won't sit here and sort of force you into giving in this particular moment, but the details are there in the chat. And by the way, if you want to talk to me within the next half an hour personally, you can, or if you want to talk to me afterwards, you're welcome to, and get to know more of what I'm about. But I'm not going to hang around here for too long and make your meeting awkward. I've also got to go to the Civic Centre. So yeah, please do get in touch if you're interested in helping.
Yeah, thanks, Wesley. And Lynn's just popped in now. She's back home. So Lynn, just to fill you in on, I've got Cliff phoning me now. So Lynn, Lynn, just to let you know that Wesley's struggling. He's had, someone's let him down with his deposit, and he's got till 4 p.m. to get his thing in. So we're trying to work out ways to get him some funds immediately.
Well, tell him to send me his bank details.
Oh, Was that Lynn? Thank you. I was just distracted for a second by something, but that's very, very kind. We will. I think.
Send me your bank details, Wesley. I can get it there quite quickly.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Wow. Okay. Well, wonderful. Thank you, Lynn. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, don't let the bastards keep
Hand you down.
us off
That's
the
right.
polling. Keep us off the ballot paper.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Lynn. I'll send them over to Chris. Can I send them to you, and then you can put them in the chat?
I wouldn't put them in the chat. Can you email it or text it to me? Just give it to Rachel. She'll text it on to me or something. I've got to fold I've got to fold 48,100 leaflets.
All right. Okay. Okay.
But I'll make a phone call in a bit. Yeah. In a few minutes.
We'll
send it
figure
over.
something out. Okay. Thank you very much.
Send them over to me, Wes. I send it. I can phone the bank now.
Thank you, Lynn. I really appreciate that.
Okay.
Chris, are you coming down?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll ring you
Please
when
come.
I'm there. I'll ring you when I'm there.
It'll be nice to see you. Be nice to see you. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys, for your time. I really appreciate it, and best of luck with your campaigns. And let's stay connected. If you want to chat, I'll send my email address as well. But I've got to go now. Take care. Thank you, Rachel. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Sorry, I was muted there. I was Cliff's struggling to get on, so I was trying to send him the email. Okay, who would, oh, Chris, you got your hand up. Would you like to speak?
Yeah.
Yes.
Chris Nettleship.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, I can't contribute anything financially. I'm sorry about that. It's a bit tight at the moment. But I noticed Lynn said she got all those leaflets. There's a couple of us that's quite willing to help her do some leaflet distribution over the next few weeks. We don't mind that. No problem. She's at Rush. I think she's Rushcliffe, isn't she? She's standing.
Hi.
Hi, Lynn.
Chris, I've got a mail drop. The Royal Mail will have them. I've just got to have them folded for Tuesday so that they to the right size, because I've put them in newspaper format.
Oh, brilliant.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, let's have a look. Okay, so on the front we've got sort of a little bit about me and what my priorities are. Inside we have a letter to the voters, and then here we've got a sort of fantasy look into the future, the good reset, what it'll be like in 2028, and that's and a little bit of a news bulletin from 2028.
Oh, and you put Greater Britain on there. Well done.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I did. I got Greater Britain on there. Yeah.
So good luck with folding those out.
That's brilliant.
40,000 of them.
I know. I think I need an army for that. But I have lovely Sarah here at the moment, who's supposed to be doing other things, but she's actually just folding now.
Lynn, when do you need to get them folded by?
I've got to get them to Derby on Tuesday morning at 9:30.
Right.
I had to get a van to go and get them because I missed all the phone. I was out yesterday and I missed the emails and desperate phone calls trying to arrange a delivery to me today. So I got a van this morning and went and fetched them. Because I thought I can't leave it till tomorrow because I'm just never going to get through them.
No, well, I'm sorry I'm not available, but I will try and get you some people if you need some.
Yeah, we've got a couple here up Mansfield way. If you need any help, by all means, I can drop you my email or whatever.
Oh,
or Julie can.
I really need.
On.
I do need help with this. Yeah, yeah. They've got to be folded in such a way that the promotion is on the front. The promoter and the printer. I don't know why they're so picky about that. It makes bugger all difference to anything, but it's one of the things they're really picky about. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I think it's amazing. I just want to can I just jump in quickly? I think it's incredible what you guys are doing. I think Rachel's videos are mind blowing. You've managed to get that whole thing sorted out and done. It's like it's incredible. It's incredible what people are capable of and managing to get together. It's just I'm blown away about people how incredible they are. It's yeah, it's just, I just wanted to congratulate everybody, just how awesome you're all doing. It's just amazing. Just amazing.
On that note, I saw Roger's leaflet this morning, which I thought was fantastic. And so well done, Rog. I thought that was a very good format, just a very simple DL, double-sided, low cost, but very simple, and just meeting it head on. You're not going to get an expensive, elaborate campaign from me. I'm an 80-year-old bloke who's fed up with the system. I loved it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Transparency, Roger.
Who put that together for him? Because that's a great way of approaching it.
Rog, do you want to come on and speak, or is he frozen? Just a local print shop, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's a local print shop, and you know, I've used him before, and he seems quite reliable, and you know, quite imaginative with his.
Shall I share it on screen? Would that help everyone to see it?
Yeah,
Would you like to see it, everyone?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good.
I've got so much on my bloody screen, so you can probably see all sorts. But so here you go. So you've got now. One thing I did say is that the yellow fights against the love logo, and it might be better to put that on white. But the picture's great. You've got the imprint there, and then there's a few spelling mistakes which we've pointed out. And then it just says,
I forwarded that email and asked the printer to be guided by what you said.
Yeah. So just a few little spelling.
I'm colourblind, so I don't know anything about colours.
Yeah. So can everyone read this? And then just a few covering the key issues. So simple and sweet. Yeah?
Love it.
Okay, I'll stop the share. So, yeah.
That's really good, Roger. It's very, very authentic and very original, which is the sort of thing that people will notice, because it's different from the usual political jargon, if you like. So it's good. Very much your tone.
Just to mention, Julie's put Wesley's details in the chat, but obviously for this 400 quid, he needs it like now. So GoFundMe, as there's problems with getting the money. So don't send it to GoFundMe. Basically, this short-term requirement. Just wanted to mention that. I'll get Wes. Are you in touch with Wesley to get his bank details or whatever?
Thought he was going to send his email contact details so that we could send privately the money to him. Was that the plan?
I'll try and message him and see if he responds to me on Messenger, and then I'll share it to Rachel best way possible.
Just to give it to Lynn, really, I'm just saying, if Lynn has Wesley's bank details ASAP, she can just send the money and then it's done. Yeah.
I'll do it to Lynn through Signal. Yeah.
Cool. Good. Right, we're going all over the place. Anyone else want to speak?
I mean, if I could just sort of chip in about the things that I've noticed in the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, I've been on a few Zoom calls that Cliff has arranged. I've been on a couple of podcasts with a guy in Slough who's been interviewing the independent candidate for Windsor, and also Wes the night before. And the thing that I get from every independent candidate is the character of the people. And it's something that is very important to me, that it's not just about policy, it's about the character of the person, that you're going to put your trust and faith in this person to actually deliver on the promises. Even if they can't achieve it, they're actually going to commit 100% to delivering if they can. It's not always possible, but it's that character rather than being directed by a party to do something which may not be within their personal beliefs. So that's the thing that stood out for me. with every independent, we had a guy on the podcast on the it's a thing called Gutcast, which is to the Sikh community. And there was a guy in Plymouth called Chaz Singh, and he exemplified the faith that the Sikhs have got, and it's it's really reassuring and comforting that people with character are actually standing up and saying, okay, we've had enough of this political pop culture. Let's actually get out and have good people in Parliament for a change. So that's the sort of impression I'm getting from the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Brilliant. Thanks, Chris, for that. I also just wanted to mention one thing that the returning officer said to me yesterday and warned me about, is there's new rules about imprints which now include video. Any online video content, you have to include the imprint, not just printed stuff. And so, for example, with Wesley's, we would need to put his imprint on that, actually, strictly speaking, promoted by...
on any video, any material content.
So it covers videos now. It's a new. They've changed the legislation apparently.
Okay.
So
Really?
Yeah, it needs
Well,
to
they make it more difficult for people to put stuff like. I can't, come on.
Yeah.
Why would they do something like that?
Oh, I'm scratching my head. Because they know that we're so good at social media that they're like, oh no, they're not gonna, they don't need 34 million because they got all the marketing techniques.
Yeah.
Oh.
They've got the feet. So I'm going to be doing I'm doing a t-shirt design this weekend. I've been contacting quite a few designers to see if people have any time to kind of give me, because I'm not a designer. I'm just I'm much more strategy than I'm design, but I can kind of illustrate if I look for something that I really like. So I chatted to a friend of mine. He was the only one that kind of had time almost to start. And he had this brilliant idea, which was he suddenly was talking about sheep, and I was like, that just fits perfectly because that's what everybody is. They're just bloody sheep. We're all just follow the herd basically. So I'm doing a little illustration. We're going to do a couple of versions of it, but it'll be Make Independence Day spelled differently. Chris found a beautiful quote, which was we aren't up or was it up or down originally, or the west, east or west, we're forward. So we changed that, but we're not left or right, we're forward. And I'm gonna draw some really cute sheep where you basically got a whole load of the flock in one area, and then a few walking off to go and join another one further up the t-shirt, which I think will be really quite cool, and a nice big Make Independence Day of Independence Day. And then I think Mark's going to do another version with kind of a newsprint type, more kind of punk kind of view of it as well. So we hopefully will have 2 versions of that, maybe more. And then I'm going to get them out on Gelato, possibly another website, I'm not sure yet. And then we're going to sell them at cost price. So it'll just be for everybody to start voting independent, basically. So we'll do it cost price. There won't be any kind of markup on it. I think a t-shirt, but it'll be a fully organic, super duper men's t-shirt will cost about 15 quid. But it's just but that means that I don't have to worry about printing or postage or anything else. That kind of covers everything as far as I'm aware. So that's what I'm just working on now to try and get out there not to try and get out there.
How quickly do they come, Cliff? How fast can you get them?
Yeah, I think it's 2 to 4 days delivery.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah, so that's why I'm pushing this weekend. So that's my work this weekend, and then to also get the list. It still amazes me how few candidates have actually made it easy to find them. It seems it seems they're just very weird. But the democracy site, where there's a huge list, that should now have a list of everybody who's been nominated as a candidate. So, but they don't have the email addresses for pretty much everybody. It just has a list of, but we can use that anyway, and we can send that out to all our members on Monday. Once we've got the list, we can send it out on an email to all the members to help them go and find that local candidate. If we can find their email addresses, it'd be great. But it's, like I say, it's a nightmare. They don't make it easy for people to find them. Let's put it that way. So yeah, we're moving forward.
Cool. Okay, anyone else want to share anything that's happening, anything that's unfolding, any questions? Lynn?
Well, I've got plastic above my head. It's full of stuff for the birds. I'm down the allotment today.
Okay.
So it's a very weird background, but it just is what it is. It's much nicer where I'm looking, but it's
yeah.
I would say we just need to keep going, keep supporting each other, keep on the positives. They will keep trying to put things in, to offset how energized we're feeling. But I really do feel there's a lot of positive happening, and we just need to keep honouring, respecting, and being there for the people. Yeah, and thank you for all you're doing.
Thanks, Julie. I have to say, actually, yesterday, when I went to take my nomination form in, and I timed it, and I went in at 1:38 at the moment of the new moon, and I just set this very strong intention, and I had this really, really strong kind of feeling of, oh my God, I could actually get elected. It was kind of like it was like a real flash of like, oh my God, I could actually get elected and become an MP. It was like really, really interesting. And yeah, just holding that possibility of a magic and a miracle possibility of all of this shit show being swept away by independent candidates. I mean, it's possible. It's really possible. Like, I really saw that like strongly as a real 3D possibility, not just a pipe dream, in a sort of flash of inspiration yesterday. Yeah, so the other thing as well, I just filmed a video this morning because last night I watched the Starmer-Sunak debate on ITV, and it was such a psyop because they opened Julie Etchingham. Julie Etchingham was the host, I think that's her name, and obviously ITV is. I was looking at their accounts. They're a stock exchange listed PLC with about 3.4 billion turnover, and obviously owned by Vanguard BlackRock. And she opened the show by saying, "One of these two men will be prime minister on like the 5th of July." And I'm thinking, that's not true. That is absolute misinformation. It's not necessarily the case, but they're just so much creating this illusion that it's red or blue, red or blue, red or blue. Punch and Judy show. Do you want the red pajamas or do you want the blue pajamas? And arguing about the NHS. Is it 7 million on the waiting? Oh no, it's the waiting lists have gone up. No, they've gone down. They're 7 million. No, they're 7.5 million. And no one's actually saying, why are there so many sick people? Like, no one's saying that. So it's just, we need to cut through this bullshit. It was just incredible to watch that nonsense last night.
The fact that they're not even allowing people like George Galloway and others that are even more noticeable perhaps than independents nationally is just so ridiculous, and it's so undemocratic. And I have emailed.
Do you know what is to stop us doing our own debate, maybe, with some strong figures like the guy Andrew Goldstein, who's standing against Starmer, with like George Galloway, like Andrew Bridgen, like me, for example, or Wesley, or Lynn. What's to stop us doing our own debate and mocking one up and filming it and putting it out there. Hugh, do you want to speak?
Yeah, just on that point, what about just organising local hustings yourself? Now, if you do that, you give them 7 days notice, they don't turn up, you've got the capture of the local audience. Now, that is something that would really challenge them in the local areas where you're doing it. I mean, I've been asked to do one here, organise one here. I might not, I don't know. But I think that's something that is worth considering. So all you have to do is find the place, a venue yourself, local pub, a local meeting community centre. You might get them free if they're local community centre or pub, or might cost you a very small amount. But you've got a captive audience, and then even if the opposition do turn up, and you can give equal, let's say 10 minutes or 15 minutes to each candidate to say something. But the key thing is then getting local people to ask questions, opportunities to ask questions.
And also,
it's just something to consider.
Also, can we stop using the term of opposition? So we need a round table. So other candidates, yeah.
Right, you can. The council is obliged to let you use the public buildings. Apparently, they should give you a list in your election pack, or you can get one, and they should provide that for free. Though they can charge you for electricity, etc. Blah, blah, blah. So you can use the council stuff. For this, they're obliged to make that available to you.
Brilliant.
Well, that's really good. So, like I say, it's almost, if you organise it, you then are in the running and controlling. You can go and invite them to live from the local canvas, get some leaflets saying there is a local hustings at this time, this date. Like I say, you have to give them 7 days or that about notice. And then if they don't turn up, you've got the floor to yourself.
Yeah, brilliant. Good idea. I've already been invited to 4 different hustings locally. Right. So that's quite interesting.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but I'm sure I've been left out of a lot. Not invited. Because they don't have to invite you.
Well, they should.
They should, but they don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the legal thing is on it. But
well, the legal thing is that if you invite all the candidates, then it's not a marketing election expense. But if you only invite a selection, then it's a marketing expense. If you get my drift, Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but that's a good thought, actually. Cool.
Just to say also, thank you for the book and the videos. Started looking at those and whatnot, and I've been the videos that you're doing on YouTube. I'm also sharing those on social media as well. So
thanks.
Just to help.
Thanks, Hugh.
Really enjoy watching them.
Yeah, fabulous. Thank you. Just to mention, as no one else is wanting to speak, one thing which I did on Wednesday, which I felt was really powerful. A friend of mine who's got a camera and a microphone, we went down into Bakewell and we did some interviews with the public. Asked, simple questions like, do you trust the government? Like Cliff helped me with these questions actually. Do you trust the government? Putting the microphone, and everyone's like, no. Do I trust the government? Absolutely not. And it was really good. So anyway, and then like, what's the one thing that has made you most angry about this government? And then how are you going to vote? And there was other questions in there. And it was just, and also, would you vote for an independent? Because where people said, or I'm not sure, would you vote for an independent? Yes, if there was someone who I trusted. So there was a really strong response. So that's being stitched together, although it's a bit of editing to stitch those sort of vox pops together, but it seemed like a really good format. So that's another video coming out in the can. That's a good one to do.
Can I just speak on that?
Oh, you're still there, Cliff. You just gone to iPhone, yeah.
Yeah. Just that I've got a plastic bag hovering over my head, so it wasn't a good visual. If you can keep it to 3 questions, and a good one is, do you trust the government? Because it gets people to stop. It's a pattern interrupt, so it actually does disrupt them from what they're doing, because they almost have to answer. And once they answer, you've got the chance to have a conversation with them. So if you keep it 3 questions, 3 simple questions, boom, 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 then what you do is you can then edit all the answers into one segment, so that you basically have a front and end. You video a front and end to it. I'm so and so. I'm the independent blah 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 blah. I'm in the town centre of blah blah blah. And I'm here to ask the constituents what they really feel. That's the front bit, and then then you can put a frame that says, "Do you trust the government?" And then you can just edit, "No, you're bloody joking, aren't you?" One after another, and then you put up the second question, which is a frame that says, would you? What's the one thing that made you the most angry, or what's the one thing that you find the most distrustful? And then you can edit all the answers, bang, 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 and then a third question, and then you bookend it with another piece by you, basically saying, so that's what the constituents of this. I'm so and so and so and so. Or you can have, what are the 3 things, or what's the one thing you'd want to change within the local constituency if you had the chance? And you can bookend it then with, my name's da 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 da, I'm standing for so and so. My 3 key points are this, this, and this. I look forward to you voting on the day, or something like that, because it really kind of hammers home a really good. Get one person that does a great interview in themselves. You can also send just that interview out by itself.
Yeah. So just to embellish on that, what we found in practice, Cliff, is that most of the people we asked did not want to be interviewed. They're like, I'm not interested. I have nothing to do with politics, and they just refuse flatly. And so the way that we ended up doing it was just asking people and then hitting on that one person and like, yeah, I really want to speak. And then they came and stood in front of the camera, at which point I then asked them the questions. So I think it's more challenging to do it with a sort of roving camera and putting it in someone's face unexpectedly. I think you need to ask consent, don't you, really, to get people to consent and then to come in front of the camera. And the ones who did consent really had to be in their bonnets. So I got some very vocal, fabulous, interesting, strong views that way. So,
whilst also, Cliff, I would say it's nice to see your face, and we don't need to focus on that white plastic bag behind you.
Thank you. I'll switch my camera back on. I wasn't sure.
Good. No, much better.
I didn't even know it was a white plastic bag. It looks, I don't know, it could be a pudding, like in a muslin, like a.
Down the allotment, I'm just in my seating area. I mean, this is the actual view of my garden. This is my little garden area where I've got the.
Oh, I hope you got planning permission for that.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
Don't mention that.
I don't know if you guys got the post from Ivor Cummins that in Scotland now, this just proves that the bird flu is going to be the next pandemic that they're going to release. In Scotland, they're basically saying to people that you must, even if you have 1 chicken, you must notify them that you're picking chickens. And if you don't, then there's something like about a £50,000 fine and or 3 months in jail or something stupid like that if you don't tell them that you've got chickens.
What about all the turkeys at Holyrood?
What's that?
What about all the turkeys at Holyrood? The Scottish Parliament, have they got to register as well then? Sorry, just a bit of a joke.
Oh.
But it just highlighted that we know bird flu is definitely the one they're going to be pushing on the next one, because otherwise they wouldn't be. Why start tracking what a fowl on the land? And I think they're going to be making a concerted effort to destroy chickens. I think that's absolutely on their radar. Remove that food source from the public, basically.
Yeah.
So
there was a video today in America as well about that.
Yeah.
Well, this is where we need to really know our common law rights, because that is an absolute violation of our common law rights to keep chickens on our land, actually, in truth. And that's why it's, I mean, I personally, I would stand up to that and say, I do not consent, I do not understand, I require a trial by jury, because I can't see that a trial by jury would unanimously agree that you should be put in prison for having a chicken.
Or
And it would be
£50,000 fine.
it would be worth going to a trial by jury just to show what a mockery the system is. That's why, if we know our common law rights and we know that to ask for a trial by jury, be tried by our fellow man and woman, take it all the way and defy the bullshit, basically.
And also, if
on
you
that
think about the cows that they killed when they didn't need to have killed so many, they
Foot
shouldn't.
and mouth.
Yeah.
They didn't need to kill any. That was bloody ridiculous. Same with the salmonella stuff. They kill, I mean, I was there when they were killing sheds of chickens. We took about 70,000 out. It was just evil.
That was all down to Edwina Curry and the
she was the mouthpiece. She was the mouthpiece, but yeah.
Neil Ferguson was BSE as well, foot and mouth disease, and obviously the latest scam with his modelling was COVID, which went all around the world. And he's never going to be answerable for any of that.
I mean, basically, it's essentially government overreach, and this is happening in every area now. Government overreach, the government acting ultra vires, not within its lawful rights, and that's why we, the people, need to rise up and speak out and defy and challenge all of this shit show, basically.
I mean, you'd be able to register any animal with the government because death for administrative slaughter is just going to take any excuse to come and slaughter your animals, so they can. No one's going to do that in their right mind, are they?
Well, these are all things that need to be swept away. Like, that's one of the things, DEFRA regulations, rules and regulations. I mean, every cow has a passport now and has to have full vaccine passports. And you can see where they got the idea from, because they see us as livestock. So, yeah.
But this is one of the things that I talk about being, the whole independent movement being part of the war, not the war. And only being a battle within it, because there's many people challenging council tax, there's many people challenging taxation in itself in its own right, and lawfully challenging it, and they go back to legalese, they go to legal. Of course, legal is superseded by law, but they just constantly bat back the law. So this is what they're doing right now, and I just think that the next wave, this is the first battle where we can actually give them a bloody nose, and then from there, I think there's going to be more and more people put in pain, and realizing that they're basically they stand up, they have to come together as a mass, as a movement, and I think at that point that's when you're going to see the real movement, because they haven't actually imposed a lot of the laws that they're going to be, and we know that, and I think people still don't believe. They say it's conspiracy theorists. In fact, I had to tell somebody off when they mentioned I was a conspiracy theorist the other day, because I was like, no, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, I'm a realist. I don't sprout off stuff that I've read in a book and just kind of listen to one person and then go, oh, this is true. I do a huge amount of research on what's going on, and I think until that actually happens and really becomes part of the system, I don't think there's enough people still that really are in enough pain to stand up and be counted. But I think the moment they do that, that's when you're going to see a huge uprising of people, and that's the point where there'll be a real battle. There'll be a proper coming together of people.
Yeah. It's amazing how much pain people will take. That's why I think I'm here where I am, because I'm not as tough as a lot of people. As soon as I get uncomfortable, I start doing something. I can't live in that sort of discomfort. So I also think we could have a situation where there's a general election again quite quickly, because I can see a situation where they don't have an overall government and they can't get one, and they have to rerun the election, and then I think people will see that actually independents can get in, and the next general election, which might be within a year, they will feel confident to vote for them and see that the Tories are actually broken. So it could be a bit more of a long term. It could be a longer battle than we'd like. We'd like it all over this time, but it could also be shorter. We might not have to wait for the next 5 years, you know.
The one thing I'm really kind of delighted about is the people's view of Starmer, because we know that Conservatives are completely nothing screwed. I mean, they're a dead force, but the amount of people that just don't trust Starmer is incredible. I mean, just incredible. They just don't trust him at all. So it's really interesting. I think it's on a real knife edge at this moment, because they're looking at Sunak and going, "Well, you're an idiot," and they're looking at Starmer and saying, "Well, we don't trust you at all. You're not a trustworthy human being." Even when he tries to say how trustworthy he is, doesn't even sound like he's trustworthy. I mean, he comes across as somebody completely untrustworthy.
Anyone
so it's
say that they're trustworthy definitely isn't. Yeah.
Completely.
I
think there is a real opportunity.
Yeah.
The little
I think
devil on my
Reform
shoulder is
will
going,
also
"Say
take a lot of their
trustworthy."
votes.
Who
What's
will,
that, Lynn?
sorry?
I said the devil on my shoulder is now saying, "Say I'm trustworthy. Say I'm trustworthy."
No, you are trustworthy,
It's
but you
awful.
don't
I'm
have
just
to do it on something like Starmer does it. And I know through someone in my life who used to say, to be honest, and now I know he was always lying. Okay. And he didn't need to have done it up front. And you're not doing it up front. You're saying you're stepping up because you care about people. Yeah.
And that's what resounds with people. People, we ain't stupid. We might be brainwashed. We might have been educated or kind of brainwashed through education and everything else. But people still sense when someone's telling the truth, that we sense it. It's part of our being. And so you're absolutely right, Julie. We don't need to say, nobody needs to say you can I'm trustworthy or you must trust me, because people will get that from the
truth has a resonance. That's what I always say. Truth has a resonance. So it's like you could always tell, like Boris Johnson, he was like a violin playing out of tune or something.
Or a bloody big double bass.
I would say it is on the total wrong frequency. Being a sound healer and knowing how they've changed the frequencies deliberately to upskittle us. And this is where, as we come through this, we will change all the light frequency, we will change the sound frequency, so they're actually healthy for us.
Yeah.
But that's after we've got through the 4th of July. We just need to keep going with love. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay, everyone, it's nearly 1 o'clock, so thank you all for coming on.
Nearly 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock even, yeah, thank you. And lots of love. And I think is your next meeting, it's not Monday night, but Tuesday night now, or are you going to switch it back, Cliff?
It is. It's Tuesday because they mentioned there was the hustings, but I'm going to ask if Chris can facilitate the meeting. I mean, it's actually a personal brand meeting, so we've structured it very clearly that it's going to be each person staying to the group, having 1 minute to basically pitch in effect. So it's like an elevator pitch that you do in business, but I think it will really help people define their key message to make sure that the group of people who are watching them and can listen to them can actually give them positive feedback as to what was working, what wasn't working. Because if somebody goes through their pitch for 1 minute and everybody goes, "Nah, I don't get it," then there's a real chance of them being able to realign that and actually say, what about saying this? What about saying that? What about using these words? What about using those words? And so everybody should get a huge amount of benefit from it. We had to move it to Tuesday because on the last call, everybody was saying that hustings was on Monday.
A lot of them are.
So we thought, well, if we don't move it to Tuesday, then a lot of people
find a way of.
it was a pain, but it's a shame. I won't be able to be there. So
okay, so good. Okay, everyone, lots of love. Thanks for coming on. Have a great weekend.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks, bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Keep that folded.